Welcome to the Flip Lifestyle Podcast, where life always comes before work. We're your hosts, Shane and Jocelyn Sams. We're a real family that figured out how to make our entire living online. And now, we help other families do the same. Are you ready to flip your life? All right, let's get started. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Flipped Lifestyle Podcast. Super excited to bring you another episode this week. On today's podcast, we're going to give you a glimpse of what it's like to be inside the Flip Your Life community, and specifically on one of our member calls. Jocelyn and I do live member calls twice a month where we invite our members to come on and ask us questions about their online business so that we can answer them directly and help them take their business to the next level. The questions you're about to hear are real questions from members of the Flip Your Life community. You're going to hear me and Jocelyn help these members find the answers to their questions, and we know those answers are going to help you and your business too. If you would like to ask me and Jocelyn a direct question, we would love to have you on our next member call. Becoming a member of the Flip Your Life community is easier than ever because it's free. That's right. You can get your first month free and attend our next 2 member calls where you can ask us questions directly. All you have to do is go to fliplifestyle.com/free and you can start your free month today. We can't wait to see you on a future member call, but until then, enjoy today's Q&A with S&J.
Eva says there's some loose screws with my sales funnel, and I'm hoping you can pinpoint what might need improving. I'm feeling very stuck with my membership and not sure how to move forward and grow it further. I've had 40-something members for the past few months, and things have been stagnant in terms of growth. The same number of people are coming in as going, and I'm not sure how to take it to the next level. Okay. So she had about 2,200 website visits, 660 from organic search.
She's doing Facebook Live.
She has lots of opt-in opportunities, a Facebook group of 4,800 members, email list of 1,750. Let's see. She emails the list every 2 to 3 days, doing keyword research for YouTube videos, Facebook Live every Friday, and monthly webinars promoting a $1 trial where I get anywhere from 5 to 15 people to opt in for the trial, and about half of those stick around for at least a month. Okay, that's pretty normal numbers.
So here's what I'm seeing here in this question. So basically, Eva has a sales funnel. She's got a membership. It's working. She's holding steady at 40 members. That's great. That's like, that 50 to 100 members, that very next step, Eva, is where things get real, right? Like that's where you can really start making some headway into earning an income and, replacing your income and things like that. You've got a lot of things going here. There's 2 things I don't know if you're doing, and you may have just not said it. One, I'd like to know how you're promoting that webinar. I don't know if there's any paid advertising here. So that's definitely a next step if you're not doing that now, is getting people to come to that webinar where you pitch the trial. If you could just double the people that were coming to your webinar, if you're getting 5 to 15 people to opt in for the trial, if you can double the amount of people at your webinar, that's one part of the chain that you could improve. And that would double the memberships, which would make you grow automatically. So that's an example of how someone can get laser focused on one part of the sales funnel. If you can just make that one better, like what if that said, I get anywhere from 10 to 30 people, right? Well, all of a sudden you've broke the log jam and your membership grows again. Okay. So that's one thing you could do to focus on that very specific thing, is do some paid advertising to push people to that. That's the next level. If this is what's happening organically, then the next level is paid advertising. The second thing I see here, and this is something that I'm actually going to be doing an entire talk on at Flip Your Life Live in Nashville, is the jump from being consistent to prolific. Okay. So Jocelyn and I have been going through all this content for Flip Your Life Live in Nashville. And one of the things that we've really worked on is helping people break plateaus. So we have to identify those plateaus for people. The first plateau we see is people who are doing nothing, and they're kind of scared to make the jump into doing something. They're scared to launch, scared to make new content, scared to make new products, scared to do what you're doing, have webinars, get members, things like that, right? So the first step is taking action. Some of you listening right now, some of the dozens and dozens of people who are listening and posting and in this chat room and in this membership right now, that's your plateau right now. You're stuck. And you just got to take action. You got to start writing blog posts. You got to do what Eva's done here. You got to create a membership. You got to have some webinars. You got to get into the Flip Your Life Blueprint and learn and then do so that you go to the next level. Once you start taking action, there's another plateau where people usually hit and they're not doing it consistently. They'll make a blog post here. They'll do a sales funnel there. They'll, X, Y, and Z, but they're not doing it consistently. Here, Eva is consistent. She's emailing her list a couple of times a week. She's doing Facebook Lives regularly. She's having her webinars regularly. But what happens is once you get consistent, you hit a plateau again. You get so many members out of the things you've already got access to, and bam, you hit a wall. All right. The very next step in the chain is to be prolific. Being prolific means you do way more than your peers. You do way more than your colleagues. Think about, and I'm not saying you have to go this far yet.
What are you trying to say?
Yeah, exactly. Right. You're not my colleague. You're my coworker. Okay. We all do everything right here. But think about prolific content creators, right? Like Jocelyn and I have 4 podcasts a week now. We do 3 blog posts a week. I write 5 emails a week and social media posts. We have 16. Oh, we do videos each week too on YouTube and Facebook, right? Or in our Facebook group for Nashville. So we are prolific content creators. Okay. Think about John Lee Dumas, Entrepreneur on Fire podcast. He is a prolific podcaster because for 2,000 episodes, he had a podcast every day, right? There has to be a jump eventually where you double down and then you triple down and then you create systems to help you quadruple down. And you have to become something. All right. That might be doubling all your Facebook Lives. It might be how many webinars are you doing a month? Let's just see. She's doing how many webinars was she doing a month? Maybe you're doing 1 webinar a month. Maybe you go to 2 webinars a month. Maybe you go to 3 webinars a month, right? Maybe you drive traffic to all that. You become prolific at something. That is 9 times out of 10 going to knock out a plateau once you've already become consistent, once you've already started generating income, once you've already started making money online, and you're ready to go to that next level. You have to become prolific at something, okay? The thing that Jocelyn and I chose to be prolific at is podcasting and service, right? Those are the 2 things in our business that we consider ourselves prolific at. We create a lot of free content, a lot of podcasts to introduce people to our brand. And then our entire membership is based on service. It's the community serving each other. It's our team serving you. It's us serving you right here on these member calls, right? So those 2 things, writes. How many things do you write a week? I don't know. Jocelyn sends all kinds of private messages, writes letters to members and all sorts of stuff. If you've ever received a letter of any kind from Jocelyn, tell us in the chat because there's got to be a lot of people in here that have.
Yeah, I write handwritten cards each week. I get into the community each week. We develop systems to make sure that our members are being taken care of. And if you have not been on the receiving end of that just yet, you will soon because we are developing more systems to reach as many members as possible, as many times as possible. So that's something that's really important to us, and that's what we're working on right now.
So, and let me I want to. Here's where the confusion is from other gurus and other people. You can't be everywhere and you can't do everything. That's not prolific. If you're a prolific YouTuber, you're probably not a prolific blogger. If you're a prolific emailer, you're probably not a prolific phone caller, right? If you're a prolific podcaster, you might not be prolific at Facebook Lives, okay? Maybe you do a lot of webinars, but you don't do a lot of something else. You can't be everything to everyone, but you can be prolific at something. And I would guess if you're getting 5 to 10 members on those webinars, you need to become prolific on the webinars. And if you can do that, you're probably going to get more money. So pick something and go and be prolific at it, and you're going to be better off.
And it sounds to me like, like Shane was saying, that you're doing a lot of things. What things are working? Like, are you keeping up with the numbers of the things that are working best? Maybe it's that you're spreading yourself too thin. And you're trying to do all of this, but do them particularly well. That's something that Shane and I were talking about earlier today. We're trying to do all the things. And sometimes when you're trying to do that, it's hard to do all of them well. And so what I would do if I were in your place, you said that you wanted me to comment kind of on the data collection. I would just make sure that I have a really strong hold on my numbers. Maybe you need to start keeping spreadsheets each week. That's something that we do. So maybe how many people saw your Facebook stuff this week? How many people attended your webinar this week? What did you do differently? Like really get a good strong handle on those numbers and maybe start leaving some stuff out. That's what we do. Like, there are social media channels that we have accounts for that we don't really use. And it's not because we don't think they're good social media channels. It's just that we see results from others more. So we turn our energy to that. So sometimes it's a question of where do you want to put your energy on what's working or what might not be working so well.
Yeah, you pour gasoline on the fire. You don't pour gasoline on the unlit logs, right? You don't say, I've got a fire, and then go over here and try and light another fire. You pour gasoline on the fire and you build a bonfire, right? And judging by your numbers, if you're getting 5 to 10 members every time you do a webinar, if you just doubled your webinars and just added some money pushing more people to the webinars, even if it's just targeting all the people that already follow you, then that's going to double your results. That's going to get you ahead of churn. So you're not getting 5, losing 5, getting 5, losing 5. Go get 10 and then lose 5 and then you grew, right? Or go get 12 and then lose 4 and then you grew. Like, so that's where I would focus that in that exact sales funnel that you posted.
Yeah, and I just wanted to say before we move on that sometimes people, when I talk about like doing data, they think, oh, I'm doing 17 things. Like that's going to be really hard to keep numbers on. No, just pick like 3 and keep numbers on that. Even if you're looking at data from just a few things is better than looking at data from nothing.
Yeah. The only data we look at really, like, we don't look at a lot of different numbers. We look at lifetime value of customer. We look at opt-ins and we look at conversions from opt-ins, like pretty much. And then we look at money that's deposited into our bank account. We don't get caught up in revenue or invoices. We say how much money hits the bank account, right? If you just look at a few things and you just improve those, your business is going to grow. Okay.
All right. Janet would like to know, how long does my sales page need to be? I've seen many that have tons of copy, testimonials, etc. Is a super long sales page more effective than a shorter one?
I mean, it's not really. I mean, it just depends. I mean, what you're doing. Like Jocelyn and I have this talk all the time.
Yeah, I prefer a little bit of creative differences on this one.
But that's a good way to put that. It really is just a creative difference. Like, for example, Russell Brunson, who is considered one of the biggest marketers on the planet. He's got a $100 million company. He really, really likes long form sales pages because he wants, well, if you like video, I'm going to put a video at the top. If you like the skim, I'm going to give you lots of headlines and bullets. And if you're a reader, I want to give you lots of copy to read. Okay. He's made a lot of money. One of Brendan Burchard, who is actually a mentor to Russell Brunson and another one of the biggest marketers on the planet, vastly prefers a video with a button. And they're both millionaires. Okay. So it really doesn't matter what you do. The reason that I creatively like longer ones is I'm kind of if they like it, it's there. If they don't, there's a shorter version. Just watch the video. And Jocelyn just doesn't like it because it doesn't look as good.
But
so.
it's kind of like the way that we are in person. Like I'm typically more concise and I use as few words as possible to get my point across.
I do.
And Shane, not so much.
No, I'm very detailed. She is detail oriented. I'm very detailed. Lots of details. I'm going to give you lots of details. So, the only way to know if your sales page works for your business is to let people see your sales page and let them vote with their wallets and then test it versus something else. So try it. Try a short one and then make it grow.
The cool thing about some of the tools like Lead Pages, ClickFunnels, is that you can split test that. So make one that's longer, make one that's shorter. It'll show 50% of the people the one that's longer, 50% of the people the one that's shorter, and whichever one is winning, go with that
for it. Yeah.
So don't overthink this. Do the sales page that makes you not want to cringe and run away because you don't want to do it.
And I'll tell you this. Here's something that is 100% true. A sales page will make you more money than no sales page. Like that's a fact. And right now, if you have no sales page and you're debating whether you should do a short one or a long one, it doesn't matter because the one you pick will make more money than no sales page at all. So you got to just do one and then make it better.
So give yourself permission. Quit saying, oh, well, I don't know if the long form sales letter converts better than the short form sales letter. Who cares?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Do one.
Just do one. Yeah. You'll get like so nitpicky on this stuff. Like Jocelyn and I were just talking about this last week. Like one of the things we left off of the free trial when we launched it was we didn't get people's phone numbers because when we were strategically deciding this, we looked at each other and we were like, we basically said, or Jocelyn basically said out loud, I would give someone my credit card before my phone number. And
I really did say that.
Like, honestly. And I was like, that's probably true. So we did put the phone number on the sales page.
We didn't ask for the
phone number. And, but we now, me and Kat this week just created a split test. We're creating one with a phone number. So the order form, there's 2 order forms. One has a phone number. It requires it. And the other one doesn't even have a field for the phone. That's the only difference. But we're not going to sit here and say, well, I think no phone number automatically is going to get more opt-ins than one with a phone number. We're going to test it for a month. And we're going to look at it and we're going to say half the traffic here, half the traffic there. Oh, look, the one with the phone number got this percentage of opt-ins and the one without got it. So that's what you are doing right now is you got to launch one before you can test it against the next one.
And one of the words or one of the phrases that we try to eliminate from our vocabulary, and it's very hard, but we try not to say, I think anything. Because it doesn't matter what we think. It matters what the data tells us.
Yeah, that's something. Anytime we're having a conversation where me or Jocelyn go, I think that we should do this. Even whether it's parenting, marriage, anything, we look at each other and go, I think. Is that an opinion or is it based on fact? Right? And we call each other out on it. And it's harsh.
It doesn't always go that calmly.
No, it doesn't. Oh, you think, huh? So you think that? Is that what you think? Right? But like, seriously, if you're ever saying, in my opinion, I think, I don't think, you need to stop that sentence and start it over with, I'm going to try.
Or maybe we should test.
Or maybe we should test. And that's what you should. And that's not just business, y'all. That's like real life. Like, I think taking Isaac's Xbox for a week would make him behave better. I don't know that, but I'll test it all day. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just anything in your life. Try not to start it with, here, think about all the Facebook posts that have infuriated you in the last month. I'm willing to bet most of them started with, in my opinion, or I think, or this politician said, and I agree with. Like, until you start basing things on facts, your business isn't going to grow. So stop doing that. All right, guys, that is all the time we have for this week's Q&A with S&J. We would love to have you on our next member call so you can ask a question and get the help that you need right now. Anyone who is a member of the Flip Your Life community can attend our member calls and ask a question. If you are not a member of the Flip Your Life community, you can get your first month free right now. All you have to do is go to fliplifestyle.com/free. And that will get you 30 days inside of the Flip Your Life community at no cost. That means you'll be able to attend our next 2 member calls for free. Not only will you get access to our next 2 live member calls, but you'll be able to watch the dozens and dozens of member calls that we've recorded in the past. That's a library of thousands of online business questions that you can watch for free for the next month. You'll also get access to our training area, the Flip Your Life Blueprint. That's our step-by-step process that we use to help families start, build, and grow online businesses of their own. And you'll get 100% access to every member area, including our community forums. All you have to do to get access to all of this exclusive members-only content for 30 days for free is go to fliplifestyle.com/free. That's fliplifestyle.com/free. And in just a few minutes, you will be inside of the Flip Your Life community. Thanks again for listening to today's show. We hope you got something out of it, and we can't wait to see you inside of the Flip Your Life community. Have a great day, and until next time, do whatever it takes to flip your life.
Bye.